This is your Barbados Today evening news update for Monday, October 15. So glad you can join us. I'm Fernella Wedderburn. Discussions on looming job cuts across the public sector are underway at the Dalkeith headquarters of the National Union of Public Workers at this hour. The union summoned its members to the talks to deliver an update on today's discussions with officials from the Personnel Administration Department about the proposed layoffs. Last evening, in a national address, Prime Minister Mia Mottley announced that some 1,500 workers will be retrenched in the coming weeks. She said that the majority will be temporary workers, but assured that they will receive full severance packages. Mottley said her government will also be setting up a household mitigation unit to assist the affected workers. Opposition leader Bishop Joseph Atherley today challenged the government to tell the country whether 1,500 people will be laid off in the coming weeks or whether this was the first of 3 waves of layoffs. In a statement, he criticized the move, noting that it not only comes ahead of Christmas, but at a time when Barbadians were paying more for water, a health service levy, high fuel charges, and a possible hike in bus fares. He also questioned whether government's recovery plan was really yielding benefits, pointing out that the Prime Minister has said little about the program's successes. In other news today, police are awaiting the outcome of a forensic investigation to determine the identity of a badly decomposed body discovered this morning. A C.O. Williams road crew made the grim discovery while conducting work along the common section of the ABC Highway leading to Hines Hill, St. Michael. The workers were debushing the area at the time when they first noticed a foul odor before finding the skeletal remains. They then discovered the body on top of a well. Police Public Relations Officer Sergeant Michael Blackman told Barbados Today it will be some time before an identity of the body could be made or the cause of death is determined. Workers at the Barbados Statistical Service are off the job for a second straight week as a pungent odor lingers at the Warren St. Michael office. Some told Barbados Today despite tests last week, there appears to be no resolution. The department's shop steward, Kimberly Agard of the National Union of Public Workers, says nothing has changed and she appealed to authorities to take their concerns seriously.
We are at our wit's end. We don't know what next to do, but we are thinking that we need to do something else because we're not sure that it is being taken seriously. We have given the relevant agencies enough time to do and carry out their investigations, but in the meantime, we're still having to endure the stench and the discomfort that comes along with it.
What would you like to see done?
We would like the issue solved. We would like it solved. They would have suggested relocation to another floor, but with the amount of persons affected, we don't think that would be comfortable. And to relocate us and the issue still there, it doesn't make any sense. So we are asking, we are pleading, we are begging that the issue be solved. We don't want it to be mass, we don't want it to be a temporary solution, we want the issue solved.
Meanwhile, statistician Cecilia Harris, who collapsed on the job last Monday, said the BSS should be relocated.
I personally would like us to be relocated, but they're saying that is not an option for us. In that case, they have to find some solution to this problem. We can't come in here every day and be out under the tree. Productivity is going down the drain, and they're talking about government workers are not productive. We would like to work. We can't work. You can't work in this condition. You cannot work in this smell every day. Right now, my eyes are puffy. My cheeks are puffy. I can hardly breathe. My voice is going. So we need some solution to this problem.
There's regional and international news after this short break.
Barbados Today, news you can trust.
To the region now, in Trinidad and Tobago, hundreds gathered at Woodford Square as the All Mansions of Rastafari community stage an historic rally for the legalization of marijuana. Leader of the 12 tribes of Israel, Clyde Noel, told the spectators that the time had come for the stigmatization of the herb to end. More in this report from CNC3 Television.
They came from across the country to the heart of the capital city, where they painted Woodford Square red, green and yellow. Once dubbed the People's Parliament, the square would become a centre for information. This time, the All Mansions of Rastafari would take the floor in a national rally to advocate for the legalization of marijuana.
I want to hear it! Come on, man, don't be afraid to say legalize it!
Chairman of the 12 tribes of Israel, Clyde Noel, noted that while Rastafarians usually refrain from politics, the unified community has potential.
We have some power that we don't use. And it's time we stand up for our rights and put our finger where it counts.
Cannabis expert Bongo Jack said he was disappointed that the state was taking so long to adjust its laws.
The Chief Justice for 3 years at the beginning of the law term said about that. And I'm very disappointed about the Law Association, Mr. Martin Daly, the Prime Minister. Very disappointed with the leaders in this country didn't follow it.
MSJ leader David Abdullah, who attended the rally, believes decriminalization should be a priority area for legal reform.
The criminal justice system is stacked against thousands of our young people who end up in jail, sometimes on remand for very small quantities of possession.
Criminologist Darius Figuera explained that changing the demand and supply of the product will impact violent crimes, and he says the only way to do so would be through legalization.
And further afield, the United Nations is warning that 13 million people in Yemen are facing starvation, and it's calling on the military coalition led by Saudi Arabia to halt airstrikes which are killing civilians and contributing to what the UN says could become the worst famine in the world in 100 years. And we caution you, our viewers, that some of the images in this package may be disturbing.
Well, this is where you can really see the tragedy of Yemen. There's ward after ward here of severely malnourished children. Nowhere in the world are more people at risk of starvation. I was here in Sana'a 2 years ago, and it's really shocking to come back and see how much worse things are now. Motib is 2.5 years old, a victim of Yemen's growing hunger. In the bed across the way, doctors show us another 2-year-old called Bassem. It's hard to look. His grandmother, Nadia, shares his torment. She's malnourished herself. Bassem was born into the poorest nation in the Arab world, but war has pushed Yemen to the brink, and now the currency has collapsed. Food prices have doubled in a month.
And that's news, but for the very latest, visit our website at www.barbadostoday.bb. You can also subscribe to our e-paper, email updates, and like us on Facebook, and sign up for our breaking news alerts via WhatsApp. We're also on Izumi Media in bus terminals, as well as screenplay at supermarkets and gas stations near you. And you can also hear us on Mix 96.9 FM. I'm Fernella Wedderburn. Good evening.